Justin Gaethje returned to the octagon last month in a 3-round war with former Bellator champ Michael Chandler. The Arizona native won a unanimous decision in what could very easily be a fight of the year contender. A week before the number 2 ranked Gaethje took on Chandler, Islam Makachev scored an impressive win over Dan Hooker. Today, we are discussing Gaethje ordering Makhachev to fight Beneil Dariush before a crack at the crown. First up, let's have a look at the rise of Makhachev. Stay tuned. A Dagestani native and friend of former undefeated lightweight king Khabib Nurmagomedov, Makhachev made his UFC bow back in 2015 at UFC 187 with a rear naked choke win over Leo Kuntz. Now boasting a 21-1 record, he is on a night fight win streak and has his eyes set on Charles Oliveira's UFC title. He grew up and still trains with Nurmagomedov to this day. Having turned professional in August 2010, the Russian started his career with 12 straight wins and is also the former 74-kilogram combat sambo world champion. So far during his UFC career, he has fought and beaten names like Gleison Tibau, Thiago Moises, and Dan Hooker. His only career loss came in his second fight in the UFC, losing via knockout to Adriano Martins. And what about Gaethje's career so far? Justin, the highlight, Gaethje has fought a who's who of UFC superstars during his career up to this point. The former World Series of Fighting champion made his debut in the top promotion in July 2017 and is widely regarded as one of the most exciting fighters not just in his division, but in the entire UFC. He boasts a 23-3 record and turned pro a year after Makhachev in 2011. Known for his ferocious style of never backing down, he pushes the pace in every fight. After a couple of back-to-back losses to former lightweight champion Eddie Alvarez and then to Dustin Poirier early in his UFC career, Gaethje had to go away and readdress his style and focus on not taking so much punishment. He did so and really sharpened his tools, going on a 4-fight win streak before losing to dominant Russian and friend of Makhachev, Khabib Nurmagomedov, last year. Although Gaethje possesses some of the best wrestling in the entire organization, he barely looks for takedowns as he prefers to stand and bang with opponents, something which Michael Chandler found out earlier this month. So what did Gaethje have to say about Makhachev? Stay with us to find out. People in the know around MMA are mostly of the opinion that Justin Gaethje should get the next crack at the lightweight belt, whoever the incumbent may be after next month's showdown between Poirier and Oliveira at UFC 269 on December 11th. As we mentioned earlier, Gaethje's win over Chandler was his 5th win in 6 fights, and it's for this reason why he expects to fight the winner of Oliveira and Poirier. There have been murmurings of his title shot being given to Islam Makachev, however, after rumors of the top UFC brass wanting to give someone else a chance, as Gaethje has only recently had a title shot. Gaethje recently had this to say about those rumors. Makachev fought number 14, went on to number 5, and fought a late replacement in Dan Hooker. It was a Dan Hooker in a full camp. It does not count as much, but still it's 2 top 15 guys. None in the top 5, only 1 in the top 10. That's not how this S-word works. Gaethje is also of the opinion that Makhachev needs to put in more work lower down in the division before he gets his title shot. He referenced Beneil Dariush, current number 3 in the lightweight rankings and on a 7-fight win streak, as someone the Russian should get past first. He said Dariush needs to be handled before Makhachev gets a title shot, and we would tend to agree with him. What do you guys think of the Makhachev versus Dariush fight? More Makhachev and Gaethje news now. Stay tuned. Earlier this month, before Gaethje had said Makhachev needed to get past Dariush before a title shot, Makhachev was already making noises of a title showdown with the winner of the Poirier versus Oliveira fight, something which current commentator and former light heavyweight champ Daniel Cormier agreed with. Makhachev, when asked about the upcoming fight at the time between Chandler and Gaethje, he said Justin Gaethje or Michael Chandler. Everybody's tired about these guys because they're old. They already fought for the title. I told Dana White, I want to wake up this division. We have to work, and he said, let me go back and I'm going to tell you. That's a pretty brutal assessment by the Russian, especially as he has never fought anyone in the top 5 and only one guy in the top 10, which Gaethje also pointed out. Ultimately, it will be up to Dana and the fight makers as to who they feel is more deserving of a title shot after the Oliveira versus Poirier fight, but at this moment in time, given Gaethje's current record and his always willing attitude, we cannot really see past him for his second title fight in the space of 3 fights. Who do you guys think's the most deserving? Let us know below. What has Khabib had to say about the issue? Someone who knows the 2 potential title rivals very well is former champ Khabib Nurmagomedov. He was the last man to defeat Gaethje and also still trains with Islam. The unbeaten Russian was less than flattering in his assessment of Gaethje's title ambitions, claiming the American should step aside and let Makhachev have his shot. Yeah, right, like he's just going to willingly step aside and let someone else fight for something he's worked for his whole career. Come on, Khabib! He had this to say to Gaethje. In your last 8 fights, you got finished 3 times, Justin. You had an opportunity to become champion, but you fell asleep. Islam is on a 9-win streak, 3 fights in 2021 and all finishes. Just shut up and admit that Islam deserves his title shot, not you. Pretty brutal from the former champion, but we cannot help but feel this view may be biased a tiny bit. What do you guys think about Nurmagomedov's point of view? Let us know in the comments below. So what other fights are fans most excited about in the near future? Let's start with women's legend Amanda Nunes. It's not often a fight involving Amanda Nunes generates a lot of excitement, and that's no slight on her. The reason is she is simply so dominant that most people know the result before the fight has even happened. Amanda takes on Juliana Pena at UFC 269, and some people are predicting Pena will cause Nunes more problems than she usually faces. Pena is mentally and physically strong and should put up more of a fight than Nunes' opponents usually offer. We still think Nunes will get the job done, but are predicting it to be closer than a lot of people expect. Who do you guys see coming out on top in this one? Let us know below. Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo's up next. Stay tuned. UFC 270 will see the trilogy fight between these two guys, whose previous two fights are regarded as modern classics. The fight was initially scheduled for UFC 269 in December, but was moved to January's card instead. Moreno pulled off an unexpected draw in the first fight after seemingly being behind, but Figueiredo was docked a point due to persistent fouling. In the second fight, Moreno stopped Figueiredo in the third round after pulling off an unlikely rear naked choke, taking the Brazilian's title for himself in the process. UFC 270 in January sees the pair clash for a third time. Will Moreno come out on top again, or will Figueiredo take his title back? What do you guys see happening in this one? The baddest man on the planet's up next. Stick around. Francis Ngannou and Cyril Gane is arguably the biggest fight booked for 2022 so far. The Cameroonian returns after winning his past 5 fights via stoppage and relieving Stipe Miocic of his title back in March. Gane is the current interim champ after strangely being given the belt after a TKO win over Derek Lewis at UFC 265 in August. Both men possess huge knockout power and have the potential to end the other's night early. Ngannou will obviously open as a favorite after ironing out kinks in his game during his current 5-fight win streak, and rightly so, after knocking out a who's who of UFC heavyweight royalty, from Kane to Stipe and JDS to the Reem. It'll be interesting to see which game plan Gane comes out with, as going toe-to-toe with Francis represents a huge risk, but the Frenchman certainly has the skill set to pull off what might be regarded as an upset. Having only fought 10 times in his career so far, this title shot represents the pinnacle of a roller coaster ride to the top of the game, and we'll see sparks fly without a doubt. As always, thanks for tuning in today, and remember to stop by next time. Why not help us out and share this video with any UFC fan friends you might have? Bye, guys!